Today we're looking into the world of limited edition pianos with the 60th anniversary GX2 from Kawai, a beautiful piece of art on the fallboard and on the music rest. We're going to be talking about the technique used to create the art, and of course the GX2 will be listening to it.
It has a really nice looking lid prop.
Oh yeah?
Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, like our videos, leave us comments. We appreciate the support and we love to interact with you.
This is an exciting video because I really love the look of this piano. It almost looks like it's a piano presenting itself in a tuxedo.
It's like a meta piano. It's aware of itself, of being like a beautiful work of art.
It knows it looks good.
It's cocky, you know?
And I also think that when these things came down the assembly line, the crews knew these are the anniversary ones.
Well, it's limited to just 60.
I'm not saying it's not a GX2 or it's a SK or SK. Is this a 2 or 3 model?
It's a 2.
It's a 2. And you know, it's just, I have a hard time believing it's a GX piano.
Well, we're going to get there. I know Piano Fact.
I got one.
You have one.
Yeah, this one is this is a throwback. And remember, I mentioned this about a year ago. We had a comment. We were talking about that Mason that we had in here, that 9'6" or 9'4".
The CC?
Yeah, the CC that was in the back for a long time. And we were talking about large pianos, and I mentioned that I know Bosendorf at one time made like a near 10-foot piano, and that I thought someone built one bigger. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned 12-foot piano, and someone really got on me for it wasn't just one person.
So this is like a
and I knew I didn't make that. Remember, I told
fact.
You, and I told you a week later. I said, you know, I know I read that fact someplace, and so I had to go back and redig it, and here it is. And this is the whole deal. It's an 11-foot, 8-inch piano made from Charles Challen himself. And this is the review of the piano. It has created, we're talking about the factory Challen, a profound impression in musical and engineering circles. It is 11 feet and 8 inches long, weighs 1 1/4 tons, and the combined tensile stress of the strings amounts to over 30 tons. The iron frame alone weighs 6.5 hundredweight, and the longest bass tree is 9 feet 11 inches.
Wow. And so the longest piano of the time, 11 feet 8 inches.
Yeah, and it was debuted in 1935 at the British Industry and Engineering Show. And it was actually part of the King George 25th anniversary celebration. Okay. And so here we have the 60th anniversary celebration of Kawai being involved in pianos in the United States of America. And they came out with this piano that almost looked like that special SK models. They had was it called a pyramidium?
Yeah, the pyramid mahogany.
The pyramid mahogany.
Yeah.
And it had it up in the lid. That's the one thing this doesn't have that the other one did.
It's not in their lid. Yeah, so, you know, the GX2 by itself is just a great piano.
They're phenomenal instruments.
You know, it lives on from, 60 years in the U.S. When they first started making pianos in the U.S., it was like a number 200, I think, is the first 510 to 511 piano that they make. Wow. It's called the number 200, which then became the KG2, which we've talked about a lot of KG2s, which became the RX2, and now is the GX2. So the GX2 is, you know, it's 511 nowadays, but I think back in the day it was a little bit smaller, a centimeter smaller. But you know, Kawai's famous scale design is this, you know, 510, 511 scale design. So they put it on, you know. I would say their most historical piano, the 2 that lives on from the 200 all the way on. But yeah, they entered the U.S., made Kawai America in 1963, which was a big time for piano manufacturing. And Kawai in the I think the previous 10 years had, you know, won this, you know, prestigious award in Japan from the emperor. It was like the first time anyone in the music industry had won this Blue Ribbon Award. Right. And that was in '53. And then, you know, there was increments. I think the Koichi Kawai died in '55, and his son takes over, Shigeru Kawai. And there's this thought of starting teacher schools and starting technician schools. All that happened within a 10-year span. And with the 10th year being 1963, they launched Kawai America, so a distribution network of Kawai pianos into America. And just since has been a staple of American piano playing.
It has. It's been hard for them on a marketing level because they're coming up behind Yamaha and behind Steinway in the American piano market at that time, in a very competitive time. I mean, there was a number of piano manufacturers at that time.
Number of
American,
yeah.
Chickering, Wurlitzer. There, everyone had their hand in a pie. But what's interesting about Kawai is that they came here with the one intention of providing high quality instruments at a very affordable price for the average consumer. And on these Grands, I believe all of those, as well as Yamahas at the time, were 2 pedals.
Yeah.
And so that we every now and then see one of those at a venue, or we come across one, or someone has one to sell, and they send us pictures of it only has a sustain and a soft pedal on it. But since then, the company, and then not only that, but the research and development and technology of bringing the piano into a new century, and not just the ending of the last one, but into the millennium, when they come out with the Millennium III Action, is carbon fiber, and it's really kind of, it's just a unique thing. It keeps everything in perfect. They're all the same.
They're always kind of, and Kawai's always looking for improvements to what they're doing. And as early as 1970, they started using composite materials in their pianos. And to your point, they nowadays have the Millennium III Action, which is very highly talked about, researched, the carbon fiber action that they do use, which is on this GX2. But on this one, so the actual art that's on there, it's really kind of beautiful because it's very abstract looking. It's like and if you think about when you're playing a piano, what are you normally staring at? You're staring at somewhere with your hands, whether you're staring right at them or at the fall board or at the music rest or music desk. It's a place where you can, I'd say, kind of trance.
It draws you in.
Get into a trance with the music and with the what you're looking at, the actual technique that they used and materials they used for this. It's like a Japanese
spalted mahogany or something like that, or pearled.
No. So they call it the lacquer is a Japanese lacquer called Urushi, and it comes off of this Urushu tree, and they've been using this lacquer technique for 7,000 years. So,
oh wow!
So it's like one of the most expensive materials to get because of the way it's poisonous to work with. So they have to cut into the tree, harvest it the right way, let it age for 3 to 5 years, and it becomes like this sticky honey. But then they apply this lacquer in a very kind of hands-on way, and it's a very traditional Japanese cultural form of art, and only a few people are trained in the right way to do it. But even within that, there's a thing called maki. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's the process of basically sprinkling gold or sprinkling a material into the lacquer while you're applying.
I've seen that.
And that is very rare to do.
Not too many people do. We had that on our windows here. And it was your great-grandfather that had those when the windows painted.
I don't think we had a Japanese.
No, it wasn't Japanese, but it was like gold flake or gold metal type lettering. And after people smash into the glass to break the window, we can't find anyone to replace that gold lettering anymore. But it looks cool.
I'm sure it looks cool. But this is so the practice of Urushi is 7,000 years old. The practice of the maki is I want to say about 3,000 years old. But it's one of those skills that's been passed down generationally, and the actual art of doing it is a very expensive, extensive.
Than making tea, I would imagine.
And so they whether it's pictures or gold or a sparkle, they layer in, and so while you're lacquering it, it's creating depth. And so that's why this looks so pretty. And we're going to try to capture it on camera, but there's a lot of depth going on in the lacquer process.
So the gold powder is actually floating at different layers, but it's all in line.
Yeah, whatever sparkle material they're using. I'm not sure if they use gold leaf or gold on this, but traditionally gold is a material.
I watched the video, and you see the guy throwing the stuff on there and then scooping it over and doing it like, man, that's kind of because I always thought they hand.
No, this was like a lacquering and I guess layering technique.
Impressive.
So we'll take a look at it. We're going to listen to it as well. We'll get some cool pictures, but we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the GX2.
Okay, Patrick, you know how sometimes I say that if you buy this piano, get it in polished ebony because it'll play and sound better and you'll look better and people will think you play better on it. And it's just an appearance thing. That is so true on this piano, the 60th. And you know, there's a follow-up video to this one as well with the upright version. There's a 60th anniversary.
There's a K500.
Special K500s. And they look kind of the same thing. It's like an upright that presents itself in a tuxedo looking thing like this guy. But all the things of the GX2 piano are all there. But for some reason, they feel better and they sound better and they respond better just because of the look. I mean, did you get that feeling playing this piano? Is it a special GX2 to you?
I mean,
like it does to me, or is it? I mean,
I know there's a significant amount of work that they put into a piano after it's manufactured, and you know sometimes what will happen is they'll get voicings and they'll get regulation,
treatment.
and these ones are a little prettier, and it's a numbered edition. There's only 60 of them. So, I mean, it's hard for me to believe that they didn't spend a little extra work on these ones just because of the way it looks. And so, like, you know, when you look at a spec sheet, it's going to read exactly the same as a regular GX2. It's a 511.
Look, it's a work of art.
But yeah, you start looking at the detail that they did on, you know, the fall board, on the music desk, and also on the
lid prop.
The lid prop, it's beautiful. And so, you know, you just look at that and you have to assume that they probably spent a little extra time on this. The price, the MSRP jumps up almost 10 grand. So like
because of the finish?
Yeah, so like a GX2 MSRP is right north of 46,000. It's 46 and some change. This is 56.
It's gonna run about 56 because of that fancy finish.
Yeah, and so you got to think that you're getting art with your art piece, you know? And so you're as a, you know, as musicians, it's fun to sit somewhere and play and kind of zone out. And again, I think it's just fun to be able to look at the finish on this and look right where you're normally your eyes are drifting and just be able to kind of zone out on something that's so beautiful and that's got 7,000 years of history just right in front of you.
With the craftsmanship.
And so it's just, to me, it's a pretty cool piece.
I think it'd be really cool to go to a nice jazz club or a music venue and sit at that piano and play it every single night. Man, people will go there just to see and hear that piano.
Well, yeah, it's a work of art, and you think about it, and it's, you know, to me that's almost more beautiful than when they put like a beautiful piece of wood on there. Like it's nice to have like a beautiful something to look at, but sometimes you look at the wood or like a veneer, and it's like, okay, that's pretty, but it's kind of, I don't know.
It's an exciting look.
It's exciting. So the GX2 again has the Millennium III carbon fiber action in it. It's got the solid stretcher bar.
Yeah, stretcher overlap.
It's got the
integrated
double
design, the core
steel,
system.
the steel key slip. We did a whole video on GX2s. Make sure you check it out. But just a workhorse piano. One of the most popular is because of the scale design and the sound and how it plays, how it sounds. If you haven't played one, please go to check one out. We have stores around the country, Kawai piano galleries. You can come if you're here local in Texas. Of course, we have 2 stores in San Antonio, 1 in Austin. We do have a location in St. Louis, Missouri. We have a location in Kansas City, Kansas. And then we have stores in Ohio, in Cleveland, in Columbus, Kawai Piano Galleries of Ohio there. And then also in Michigan, if you look at Kawai Piano Galleries of Michigan, outside of, there's in Traverse City, and we have one right outside of Detroit. And so, yeah, make sure you go check one out, play a GX2. They're a treat to play. They're incredible instruments. I would say kind of one of the highlights of all the product line of Kawai. This is the 60th anniversary. There will be a limited of 60 of them, and celebrating Kawai's presence here in America. The Kawai America found, you know, I guess it was when it was founded back in
60 years
63.
ago. They've been doing business in the country for 60 years. This is their way of celebrating with a special grand piano edition of the GX2 and also a special upright.
The K500, yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you've had the treat to play one of these or if you've played a GX2, please leave comments and let us know if we butchered any of the history of the Urushi or the Maki-e. I think please leave comments below and correct us, but I'm pretty sure we hit on kind of the significance and the rarity of it. Very beautiful technique, and we hopefully captured some cool stuff so you guys could see it in person. It does pop beautifully, so if you're able to come around to one of our stores and see one, we'd love to say hi and show you this wonderful work of art. Thank you guys for watching. Ted Barstow, I'm Patrick Marr, and we will see you next time.